Hello everybody, how's it going? We're still doing maximum funding on personal and business, and this video here is about the coronavirus solutions, as in personal protective equipment. How to make money in this bad economy when it's actually great, because every day you find the loophole, you find the advantage, and you take advantage of every angle you can get. This is one of them. This medical business is off the chart. So if you have a need for KN95 masks, N95 1860s or 8220 3M respirator masks that are approved by NIOSH and FDA approved, we've got them at the absolute lowest price. If you don't have a buyer for them, you might want to contact or do calls to large retirement communities, hospitals, big corporations, or any large organizations, states, federal government, all that kind of stuff. When you do that, you don't want to go through the bidding process. You want to find a direct contact. If you direct contact, then we can make a deal and make things happen. And I guarantee when we get on the phone, we show them all the licensing, the proof, and all the stuff. With one of my clients' companies who's been doing this type of stuff and importing for the last 15 years, 2 times a week, who has federal military clearance, goes right through customs when FedEx, DHL, and UPS get slowed down by delays, and half the freight gets confiscated because normally at the last of the load they put in unlicensed, uncertified products, and then customs always kicks out the whole load, and it takes them 3 months to sort it out. So tons of people are saying they got ripped off. Well, yeah, you got ripped off because you're stupid. But we have had contracts with the Department of Defense, other government agencies and things like that, and supplied them. So when we deliver orders, you're only talking 8 days. Sometimes we get a surplus on the ground in the States, but that's goes before it even hits the port. So everybody calling around saying, hey, do you have any on the ground, any surplus? They're going to be calling around for months and months and months, because it's already set up prior to them getting it. So that's really just wasting time and kind of stupid. Now let's talk about pricing. We have the absolute best pricing in the large volume stuff, like $1 million, $10 million, $20 million, $50 million unit orders. I mean, we could probably do maybe a 500,000 order, but the pricing we have is definitely the best. Everything we have is certified, licensed, 3M, FDA approved, NIOSH approved, and other certificates, and we can back it up. And on large orders like 3M products, we can literally do proof of life with the date, time, stamp, video, and even the company's person's name, etc., right inside of the 3M plant. Now, I mean, you can't call 3M or anywhere else in the US or wherever and say, hey, I want to buy it, because they are not taking on any new suppliers or anything like that. So we're getting stuff and things from China, like the N95s and the KN95. China is just as good a quality. It's actually better because it's 5 layers of protection. The particulate inflow through the filter is 0.3 microns, the same as the 3M1860, but it's a Chinese brand. Cheaper. KN95 is the cheapest. There's 3 levels of KN95. So when you're buying, I mean, some people say, one place said, oh, they beat us on the price, but there's medical grade, civil grade, and then there's just a trash level grade. And so you have surgical, medical, and then civil, which is supposedly protective. But if it's just a piece of toilet paper, it's a piece of crap mask, and or a fake order. So you're comparing our price with an imaginary price. So that's a big deal. But I guarantee nobody can beat our prices. If you have an order, we have a lot of brokers doing this and closing huge deals. The payout's pretty quick, and is one killer ass business. So anyways, think of that. you need help, if you don't know what you're doing, you got your order on the phone, you want to call me on three-way, I'll help you close the deal, then we can do the rest of the stuff. There's a lot of stuff behind it as well. Now, as far as the masks, let's go over some mask things. Like I said, FDA approval, certification of conformity with 3M, and the management system and licensing, supply maintenance, export certificate certification by 3M as well. This is our 3M product in the bag, in the box. The 1860 is the normal medical surgical grade mask. Now this mask is made to filter air through, I said like 0.3 microns. The pressure is actually a little stronger than that because it's 3M. It's better than the KN95 and the N95. But your surgical masks that are just standard, that are like material, that doesn't stop the air coming in from the side. So like a surgeon on a coronavirus patient or Ebola or whatever, he's wearing this 1860 with a surgical mask, which is these are waterproof, but the surgical mask is, well, these I guess they are water resistant, but the surgical masks are more blood proof and things of that nature, more waterproof. So they wear two of them. Now we have the 3M8210, which is actually industrial mask, more to stop sawdust and things like that. It's a public mask, so a lot of people want to get the cheaper one, and there's like a 50-cent difference on that one. But if you're talking in your hospital setting, maybe a retirement setting, you would want to go with the 1860 or the KN95 or the N95. So that's that. 3M certification that we have. Other certifications for the FDA and the surgical mask. Here's a copy of our KN95. It's got the metal nose piece, the high quality filtration paperwork, non-woven fabric. It's a good quality, high quality mask. This is the NIOSH approval and the approval number. Here's our second version of the KN95. It's just a different different factory in China that my supplier has. We actually have like 5 factories making them, and they can produce, depending on the factory, like 20 to 30 million per week. So overall, in a month, we could put out 500 million masks a month, and you will fall in the order range of what's left on that order range. So if you got 100 million order, 200 million order, and we've already done 300 million, possibly we'd have to do a running purchase order where you get provided like 20, 30 million a week, or if we combine several factories together, it would be a little bit more, but it could go on for like 4 weeks or something. And this is our last version of the KN95. I think they look kind of gay, but they work. I don't know. It's just one of those. Okay, so that's that. Now, if you have an order, you call me. I'll help you out, get this thing set up. The next item, surgical mask. A lot of places do want, even though they probably don't know that it doesn't help as much, but I guess a lot of businesses like doing it and thinking they're doing something. So we can get these pretty cheap. A lot of places will buy them. There's also 3 grades on these: medical, civil, and then like just a basic non-sterile regular blockage type level mask. But the pricing's pretty good on those. Delivery on these is like 8 days. I do have a shipment coming in port, but it's being held back. We're going to put it in a warehouse and just distribute it straight from here to within the United States. But the time frame on that to get set up, you're probably talking like a month out. So I wouldn't be waiting around for that. And plus, as time goes on, because everybody's going back to work, you're looking at lower supplies, more expenses, and higher costs and shipping. Shipping, we have our own. My company or supplier has his own private cargo planes. So not only are they approved with military clearance, his partner is in Chinese Parliament, so never have we had any problem with customs or anything, and he's been doing this for years. So that's what we have that other people don't. And I guarantee you talk around, everybody's getting held up in customs, and their shipments are getting withheld, or they just ran into sending money to somewhere in the middle of nowhere to China, and they lost millions of dollars. Everybody's saying that. I mean, that's happening all the time. Okay. Purchasing, we got a great setup. I mean, I could do, like, if it's the most reputable, solid proof of funds and all that kind of stuff, literally can show up. It could show up on their doorstep and they pay after. Or we could do escrow, or we could do 10% down, have everything verified by SGS and everything, and then 10 more percent released. SGS is a standard global service that is like your appraisal company, your inspection for the world. They're like the highest, most reputable one there is. They've been doing that for years. They have a high moral ethic and standard. They will point blank tell you what's on the shipment, how much is on the shipment, if it's real, if it's certified. They will tell you everything. And if the shipment is shit and it's fraud, they'll straight up turn your ass in. So the supplier and the buyer are protected, and that's no joke. They don't mess around. Same with our escrow company. Everything's solid, legit, in order, in place. So that's it for the mask. A lot of places want hand sanitizer. We got hand sanitizer by 2 ounces. Small units. I have 2 ounces. I don't have a picture up there. 2 ounce units. And orders need to be like at least, large orders, very large orders. Each one has an individual amount of orders. Like this one is 16 ounces, which is a good buy. The minimum order is 3,024 bottles. We have it by the gallon. Minimum order on this one is basically 1 truckload, 4,320 gallons. Got all the specs on everything. We got proof of life on this stuff. We got all this stuff that you need. So we're real. If you're real, there's another video on the proof of life. This is the specs on the gallon drums. I mean the 55-gallon drums. And a lot of hospitals are needing ventilators to keep people on life support and breathing and all that kind of stuff. And it also depends on the ventilator. It can be used for amnesia and things like that in surgery. So we have those at wholesale pricing and supply them. And you're talking only maybe like 5 to 6 days delivery, and our prices are way below retail and products that can't even be bought at the moment because we have all this connection. We have Corona test kits. Let me show you that. They're home test kits. Each test kit is like $350. You want to see what's in the test kit. It comes with your breakdown of all your instructions and everything, and in the test kit has your, I'm going to show you a picture of it. It has your instructions, compounds, everything, and how you do it. Basically what you're going to do is you're going to take a blood sample, not a nasal swab up your nose that will feel like it's poking out your eye and killing you, but blood sample, and you're going to read these charts. It has 3 lines, basically 1 line, and depending on where the 3 lines or the 2 lines show up, it's going to tell you whether you're positive with it or you're negative, or you're positive and had it, and you have the antigen or whatever, the immunity to it. So that's what this test will show you. It's very good. It's nice. We got all the paperwork on it. This is what the actual test looks like. Hold on. The compounds and the pipette, the testing plastic container, and then the compound to test it. Okay, so that is those to sell. So if you're selling them, you probably sell for like $375, $400, whatever. Depends on it. You're talking big money. Ultraviolet stuff, we're taking that public, and that's going to be out everywhere in the world pretty soon. So we'll go over that. Well, that's a whole nother story. Anyways, you got ventilators, hand sanitizers, gloves. We have the nitrile plastic disposable gloves. Need large orders, 500,000, a million, millions plus, big money. Lowest pricing on that. Isolation gowns, depends on level 1, 2, or 3, depends on what you want. Level 1 is crap. Level 2 is better than crap. It's actually pretty good. It's high fibers, resistant to everything. This one is a level 3 surgical. They're more expensive, the most expensive one, but the normal one you're going to have is like an apron, which is, these are FDA approved and everything. We have all the licenses and certifications on them. Disposable gown. We're just different styles. You just want to pick the ones you want, and then we'll go over that. Then you have the gloves. Went over the gloves. We have the face shields. A couple different versions. One that we have the most of is these are pretty cheap. You're talking like, depends on the face shield. You maybe get them down. We can get them down to like $2 to $3 a piece. And we also have infrared thermometers, medical grade, and then like a home civil grade. So you're only talking like $40 for like your personal grade. I mean, we could probably do volume a little bit lower on the 52, but I said the average across the board on these is like $79.65. But normally now they're selling for even more than that. So our prices are really low. Same with this. You need like 100,000 plus order. These are actually really good. So that is that. What else we got? That's pretty much everything. So if you need help in this business, let me know. Give me a call. Surgical masks are pretty hot. Now that everybody's going back to work, all companies are being required to have the mask. They don't differentiate between which one, but if they're medical related or anything in really close contact with sick older people, you're going to want like the medical grade KN95 or whatever versus surgical mask. It is just plain, 4 or 5 layers of woven pleated fabric or whatever that doesn't stop the air in here. So that's that for the coronavirus solutions and private protective equipment. So if you have an order, give me a call and we'll get things going. Thanks. And also, you want to get funding or credit repair and get your stuff set up where you can take advantage of all these businesses that are hurting and want to sell, and all the hotels and motels and other commercial malls and retail areas that are really dying and making more deals and negotiations now than ever. Give me a call and we'll get your credit straight. We'll get your money in order and then keep things going. Thanks, and I'll talk to you guys later.